It has been a fair while since A, I've held a camera like this, and 2, I've done a collection tour. I have done many throughout my life, mostly pertaining to just Doctor Who stuff. I'm going to take you on a tour of all the stuff that I have. There's a little bit of Hot Toys, a little bit of Marvel Legends, Black Series, a few different props. There are Lego as well, so let's take a look, shall we? Up the top of the shelf, there's a bunch of Star Wars helmets. This one's from the Black Series, Luke Skywalker's one. This is actually from 2003. It's this Darth Vader voice changer, so it's not quite of the same quality, but it'll do for now. Speaking of quality, this is my own customized Luke Skywalker helmet. It's a bit shit. Then over here, we've got the two Mandos. We've got Boba and Mando, or Din Djarin. These are both Black Series helmets. I love these things. This one especially is incredible. This is a SH Figuarts Spidey. Things just end up at the top of this shelf, like this, which is a Bandai model kit Falcon. This, which is a Hallmark's Christmas tree decoration. This, which is from Zarpindum, which is a cool little Razor Crest acrylic piece. Then we've got the Sam corner. These awesome custom props that Sam's made. I've got to find a better place for him, but this is a 3D printed DL44 Han Solo blaster, and then his Ray Saber, which is coming apart, which is thanks to me, but this is an incredible model as well. Oh, remember the Disney Infinity figures? They're just the best. I still want to get all of them, but that is what sits up here with a bunch of Funko boxes, because you know what? Funk-Go. That's what I say. Funk-Go. And then coming on down, it's the first appearance of some Hot Toys figures. This one is Civil War Hawkeye with, I mean, it's not Lucky the dog, but it's a very hefty stone kind of piece, but it works, and we've got the little Ant-Man arrow. Then we've got Hela here, which I think is one of the best Hot Toys figures I own. Like, in terms of sculpt and detail, this thing is phenomenal. Then we've got Stan Lee from Guardians Volume 2, and also Star-Lord from Volume 2. I love this pose. Coming on down from Star-Lord is the kind of Disney-era Star Wars shelf. So you've got Rey from Force Awakens, the Resistance Rey. This is actually one of the Sphero BB-8s. Then we've got Jyn Erso from Rogue One. These are actually parts of the Darth Maul toy lightsaber, but they kind of look like Imperial base stuff. The Han Solo from the Solo movie, I love that film, so I had to get the Solo figure as well. And then, of course, Din Djarin from Season 1, as well as little Grogu, little dude. Hey buddy! If I had to lose all my Hot Toys figures, I could keep these two shelves on their own, but I'm not gonna do that. That's a lot of Hot Toys. But from Hot Toys I care about to ones that I don't, really. This is Count Dooku, this was Commander Cody. This is kind of just a miscellaneous shelf that I don't know what to do with. So there's a Bruce Banner that came with the Hulk from Avengers 1, Avengers 2 Hawkeye, as well as a third-party T'Challa with the Marvel Legends head sculpt on it, and you'll see why in a little bit of time. I don't plan any of this, but I do love these figures. I just don't know what to do with them. There's also whatever company that does this. It's a Nathan Drake from that company. And then down from there is my comics, my trade paperback comics at least, and some hardbacks, and the Marvel Legends What If figures, which are super cool. There's always a lineup of figures that lives on this shelf. There was Ragnarok, now it's What If. And then right down the bottom is all of my art books from the Marvel Universe as well as the Star Wars universe. I've got all of the new film Star Wars ones, not all the MCU. There's a few missing from there. Also, what do people do with their lightsaber stands? They just end up down here. Coming back up to the top here, we got some Star Wars DVDs and some Marvel Legends here, which are kind of my, I guess Age of Ultron is kind of what this is going for. The back two definitely are, although he's from Dark World and that's from Civil War. Look, it doesn't matter. Down from there is my comic figs. A lot of them are from that 75th anniversary wave, I think, as well as Stan Lee, and a good Ultimate Spider-Man to kind of round out this little set of figures. Then we got my custom MCU box sets, which each have different film posters at the front of it, as well as my dusted Avengers one there, as well as we've got Deadpool 1 and 2, which are actually the Christmas editions of Deadpool, and it is Logan, but it's with a Deadpool cover. Go away. This is my PlayStation 4 like exclusives collection, as well as what's this controller? Nothing exciting. And then down from there is the PS5 collection, which is, you know, small, but it's growing. And then we've just got some miscellaneous stuff. There's a bunch of steel books here that I just don't know what to do with. I love them. I've got a couple up there, which we'll have a look at in a second. but it's just they're everywhere. And then a couple of Spider-Man stuff, and a couple of mini-mates on the corner here from Amazing Spider-Man 2. And before we continue on with the good stuff, let's just take a look at the side here. We've got a Greedo from, I don't know what anniversary, but they started to do some re-releases of the Vintage Collection. And we've got a 30th anniversary 3PO with Salacious Crumb. And then we've got another anniversary Han Solo from Endor, little child in his box there, and then a 30th anniversary Han Solo being tortured, which I think may be my favorite figure of all time. And despite saying Funko, we've also got some Funko Pops here. I don't want to go into it. The only standouts is this one, which is signed by Stephen Amell, as you can see on there, a little arrow. And then a little Stan Lee all the way down the bottom. Oh, f him, I hate him. I hate him so much. All right, now that I'm standing on a chair, as you can see there, let's take a look at the Black Series that are at the top of this shelf. I'm out of breath. Top shelf is probably my most complete line. I don't really complete any lineups. There's no overall rhyme and reason. In a way, it's kind of season 1 flooding through to season 2. I've even got a Luke there from the Return of the Jedi release, and I think a sock for a cape. And traveling on down from Mando, we've got a Clone Wars section here with a bunch of different figures. I accidentally bought 2 Bo-Katans, so she fits in there nicely. Cad Bane is probably the standout figure from this wave or collection. And then over from Clone Wars is the Rebels crew, of course, and I'm so happy that we've got them all now, including I got a Thrawn. I missed him out in the first waves, but I got him in the re-releases. And then, of course, finally next to Rebels is the OG crew. And traveling on down, we get to what I thought was going to be the biggest shelf I would ever own. Turns out it isn't, but for now, this is my Endgame battle scene full of almost every single Marvel Legends from Endgame. Next on the agenda, let's head on into the Spider-Verse with my Spider-Man Hot Toys. This is obviously nowhere near all of the Spider-People released. I've definitely focused mostly on the movie suits, but I have chucked in Scarlet Spider from the PlayStation game as well as a advanced suit. We've also got a head sculpt, obviously based on the original head for Spidey. But before we head back into the Spider-Verse, let's take a trip into the Black Series again. We've got the solo movie figures. There's a couple missing here. Wouldn't mind getting the full crew eventually, but for now, I'm pretty happy with that. Some figures from Fallen Order. Everything else from this game is just repaints of troopers, so I'm not overly keen on picking them up. We've got the Rogue One crew over here. If I ever see the repaints and updated head sculpts in store, I might pick them up, but for now, I think this is actually one of the best lineups of figures. And capping off my Black Series figures is kind of a Return of the Jedi crew. I know Bosk is there, but there's just nowhere else to put him. But yes, let's head back to the Spider-Verse with my Marvel Legends Spider-Verse shelf, and also a head from a Hot Toys figure. This is just another shelf I didn't actually mean to make, but it just kept growing, and I kept buying. We've obviously got the animated Spider-Verse crew in there with a massive big old Venom. You can see there's a few MCU guys strung throughout. Deadpool, as with above, he always fits on the Spider-Verse shelf. And I got the villains all lined up at the back. I love this Spidey with this Miles. But yes, there's a whole bunch of figures from a whole bunch of different lines, but it all works for a really cool Spider-Verse looking shelf. That's where this phone went. Don't judge me, we've all got one of these corners. This is just the go here. There's a DO remote control from Rise of Skywalker, a BB-8, an R2, Porg, a spinny thing from when I was a child. Look how cool this is though. Someone handmade this for me. His name was Bob. He was literally Bob the Builder. Look at this. Isn't that cool? And there's some of the Black Series speeders over there. I think these are gonna get sold. They don't belong in the collection anywhere. So let's keep looking at this though. How great are controllers? But look at this stuff, hey? This is kind of the, oh, this is really expensive shelf. Up the top, we've got my replica shield, which has a signature on the back. I'll get that in another shot, but it's Haley Atwell. We've also got this, which is one of the third-party Tony Stark arc reactors, which is pretty cool. This, which is the badge from Iron Man 3. It showed up in, I think, the Phase 2 box set. Edith glasses, because of course. This is the Power Stone orb, as well as the Power Stone. This thing came from the Phase 2 box set. This is the third party Eye of Agamotto. This is a bomb. Got Grogu up here, still in party mode. I forgot about that. I'll put that on for my birthday, and he's still chilling. It's a life-size model of Grogu from Sideshow's Collectibles, which is actually made in part by the people who created Grogu for the show, which is why he's pretty damn lifelike, and he even comes with a cheeky little ball. Shit. Speaking of shit, it's Stuart Little, which is a mouse. If you haven't seen the film Stuart Little, it's a mouse. And we've also got a little 1:1 scale baby Groot. So in a way, this is my 1:1 scale children. If I had children, that's what they would look like. And it's the big kahunas. It's Avengers 1, and it's Endgame. Let's take a look! Whoa! Whoa! So yes, it is the full lineup of Avengers 1 figures, including Hawkeye, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, Thor, Hulk, and a Hulk that is smashing a Chitauri into the ground, which is one of my favorite little features. This is just a shelf that I'll never tire of looking at. It's a dream. But it got even bigger because the dream didn't finish in 2012. The dream continued on until 2019 with Avengers Endgame. It is as many figures as I have currently from the Endgame wave. There's a few different bits and pieces that could belong on this shelf that I haven't quite got yet. And look, to be honest, at this point with the amount that there is, I probably will at some point. Almost everything is official Hot Toys figures. The only stuff that isn't is the Scarlet Witch up the back there. I think it's called Fire Toys. And the other thing is, of course, the Marvel Legends Black Panther figure, which is down there. And look, I think it does the job. Obviously, the joints are a lot more visible, but coupled with a third-party head sculpt, I think it does its job. Everyone's in there. Everyone's here. Avengers. And leaping over here, we've got a bunch of helmets. We've got a Star-Lord helmet with the blasters coming out the top. This is a wooden Walkman. I made it myself. There's a Captain America helmet from, I guess, Civil War. It's got great damage. Actually, no, it's supposed to be from Endgame. Obviously, this Thor helmet is from Ragnarok. Another great third-party piece. It's a Hot Toys figure. Me? With Hot Toys figures? Surely not. That light is bright. It may be my favorite. I know I said Hela was my favorite. Wasp is also very, very good. We've also got this, which is from the Phase 2 box set. It's Anthony. And it's another little Sam special here with one of these shrinking discs. And rounding out the Ant-Man love is an Ant-Man helmet. As I said before, I don't know what to do with steel books, but I've got a couple here on a kind of magnetic plaque. These are probably my favorite ones for now, especially this Guardians one from Zavi. There's a crack in my wall. Oopsies. And also a big old Stormbreaker here, again from Marvel Legends. Also some lightsabers here. Let's see which ones have batteries in them. Not you. Oh, you've got batteries. Oh, you've got batteries. Oh, you've got batteries. Oh, you got batteries. Oh, you got batteries. I tried to go up the octave. These obviously being the most interesting, being from the Disney parks. There are Ahsoka's blades from Rebels and also The Mandalorian. The rest of these are Black Series sabers. Just quickly, I won't go into them, but I've got some comics in slabs down here, all from kind of the Disney stuff, including this one, which is actually signed by Mr. Matt Fraction, the writer of this Hawkeye run. This is a door with some hats on it. Oh, sorry, and a bunch of movie tickets. And also we've got the shelf, the cupboard no one talks about. You don't talk about it. Everyone's got one of these ones. And also up the top here is Hot Toys boxes. Again, nobody talks about that. Look how fucking sad this reindeer is. Ho ho ho. And that's kind of everything that is in this room. Let's go to the next room. This is a very messy room, so I'll only show you the things that have collection stuff in it. It's the room that gets forgotten. So forgotten, there's just some broken up Lego, just chilling. Just chilling. This is kind of my little resistance base display from Force Awakens. It's not the crazy UCS Millennium Falcon, but it is just the Force Awakens Falcon. Here is one of the vintage collection Jawa Sandcrawlers, back from when I was a kid. All of this is kind of Kidwill stuff. Up the top here, I can't be bothered to get on a chair and show you, but it's an X-Wing from the Vintage Collection released quite recently. Whatever the hell this is, some sort of Cloud City car, a Porg. Uncle Mike, why'd you buy this? It's never gonna leave. And then this is from the Vintage Collection from when I was a kid. I've got Han Solo taken down without his gun. Don't know where that's gone. Some troopers on Hoth. That's what I'm going for here. And that's why I can explain away that trooper being on the ground. Where the f is his gun? That's actually gonna haunt me now. Continuing the Lego theme, it's the latest Marvel Legends blind figure bag figures. I built this little base for them. I love it. It's a little quaint little base. And this lineup of figures is awesome. Very happy to have all of them. Happy to never have to spend $6 on a figure that might not be the one I want ever again. There's a couple of other figures here from Solo, as well as from The Force Awakens, and a bunch of figures inside of, these are Doctor Who character building boxes, but you can use them for Lego. Oh, these are my troopers! You'll see why, but I was looking for where I put them all. Then down here is kind of my Lego Marvel collection, at least built sets. And so you can see Tony's workshop here with a couple of not overly custom, but bits and customized figures of the Avengers. My favorite is definitely the Hawkeye. Put a lot of effort into finding the right parts for that guy. Then we've got a set from Far From Home, but it includes a couple of different Spider People. I don't know how I got that Amazing Spider-Man 2 figure. I think it was only available as a San Diego Comic-Con one. And then a little Doctor Strange display as well as some Guardians on the side. Ooh. This is a little Doctor Who Lego. There's not much out there, but I've kind of put it all together, including the TARDIS playset. We've also got a little Clone Wars shelf with one of the Ahsoka things, a trooper up the back there, as well as this Wedge Antilles helmet. I have a bunch of miscellaneous Star Wars stuff, I can't help it. But this is where the Lego continues and also kind of ends. This is why I was mentioning the trooper thing. I was lining off all my troopers on this little custom stand I've made, and I was like, I swear I have more. Technically I do, they're over there! But yeah, I made this little thing just to display all the minifigures that are no longer involved in a set. They're all just kind of set along here, including Lego Dimensions, bits and pieces. Lego Dimensions up the back there as well, and a couple of the minifigures from all the various blind bag minifigure waves. And finally, a shelf of things. There's things, they're on a shelf. Look at those things! And the final room, my bedroom. There's not much action in here. There's a bunch of drugs on the top here, but mainly, I built this TARDIS. Welcome to the room where all the Doctor Who stuff still resides. Here's all my classic DVDs. I don't have all the DVDs, and I don't think I ever will. And then down the bottom is some of the new series box sets. Also a little highlight of these sexy little pins, including being a library monitor. But yeah, a bunch of cool pins collected through the years of Supernovas, and a couple of other little bits like Mondo and Zabi. That's me! I don't know who invented the word vinyl, but they should be stopped, because I'm tired of this, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this. Funk f***o. What was I saying before? It doesn't matter. This is a poster I made for Whovians, and it's actually signed by all the Whovians, and I have a card from Rove. You care about Rove, right? I do. I think Rove's awesome, and he wrote me a card. And one of the few posters I just kind of have up. I don't really do posters anymore, but this is a poster that is really hard to show because it's a big old glare, but it's Abbey Road with Doctor Who people. Over here is a piece of artwork made by one of my best friends, it's Sarah. And at some point you'll see the other artwork that she made, and it's got a reason, but it's stunning on its own. Look at that damn thing. And back in here, we were doing that thing again. Hot Toys boxes all the way to the roof. I can't even show you. Get out of here, you stupid Funkos. There's a couple of them. Jenna Coleman, you're right. Here's a bunch of books that aren't art books. There's some Doctor Who in there, obviously, but also, yeah, some Star Wars. If you're gonna buy one book, buy this book. The Han Solo Icons book. It's a great history of everything Han Solo until they make another Solo movie and this book becomes irrelevant, because that is how reference books work. Then we've got my largest scale statue. I would love to get more of these. It's a premium format, quarter scale sideshow statue. It's just A, no room, and B, money, but I do love this. And then we've got these two from one of the various statue lines that DC have done. Really cool. Would love to get the Hawk Girl and Supergirl at some point, but these will do for now. And if you're wondering how I pay for all this, it's this shelf. This is all the jobs I've had. There's various bits and pieces. There's the fake pocket books they made for Pocket. There's my badge, my ID badge from Channel 7. And lastly, it's the Sonic Curry, which we were going to make on Spawn Point, but the pandemic happened. Then we got some Doctor Who magazines. I have slowly but surely gotten rid of more and more of these, but I think I have 400 to 450, and then a bunch of other miscellaneous issues. There's a lot of issues I have, but they don't all fit on a shelf. This is my 1/6 scale Doctor Who figures up here, and kind of premium products, and also a Mr. Huffle, I think was what it was called, but I got Peter Capaldi to sign it, and it says, beware of this. So thanks, Peter Capaldi. And this is probably my favorite Doctor Who related shelf. It's all 14 or 13 Doctors? 14 Doctors, because John Hurt's in there, and a couple of the TARDISes. I would love to get all the TARDISes and line it up at the back, but they will be quite expensive. The 80s TARDIS with Perry and Leela, and some Mondasian Cyberman bits and pieces, bits of classic, and then on the other side, the equivalent New Who bits and pieces. Rose is tucked away behind, like she should be. But I also have a couple more new series figures. I used to have far more. This is a condensed shelf. There used to be enough to have an 11 and a 10 separate shelf. Now they're all together. They're all living happily together. Back when Doctor Who used to make a lot of merchandise, and Will was very interested in the show. Remember that? Remember when he had a whole entire Doctor Who channel devoted to Doctor Who? And it can't be a room without some hot toys, so here's some more hot toys. This is my Vader and Leia, and also R2-D2. R2-D2 is a Sideshow product. Obviously both from Empire, hopefully one day a Luke, a Han, a 3PO, a Chewie, they'll all get in there, and I'll have a full Empire lineup. But for now, this is all I've got of that. This Vader figure, I know I keep saying it, may be my favorite Hot Toys figure. It's shiny, it's cool, it's got lots of light up functions. I just noticed my battery's only on 2 more, so let's just burn through the rest of this stuff. Got Tony Stark, the Workshop Man, and also a completely empty armor case because I bought it because it was a cheap armor case and I don't have any armor to put in it that isn't elsewhere. But I love Iron Man 3, so I bought it anyway. Yeah, that's the best movie. Down the bottom, we've almost done. It's Doctor Who. Oh, look at all those Daleks, eh? Look at those bloody Daleks. Oh, whoa, look at those Daleks. I know what you were thinking, Will. Where's DC? Here's DC. All DC ever. That's it. That's all I've got. They just don't make much merch. You know who does? La La Land. This is the kind of person I am. I have this. More Lego, everybody. It's the Razor Crest with a bunch of Mandalorian-themed bits and pieces, some customs. This is my custom Boba Fett. I feel like they've done a proper one now, but, you know, I'm still pretty proud of it. I got some books to read. I've got some CDs to listen to. F***ing Funko. But also the Infinity Gauntlet's pretty cool. And then we've got a guitar. To round it all out, it's a guitar, everybody. Yeah. Outside my window because I got neighbors. But actually, that is all the collection I've got. I just showed you everything I own.